back block, and that's
guy that throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Here we are for a live Pittsburgh Steelers pregame show as we dive into the Steelers Patriots week 3, and what a massive matchup already in the NFL, which is absolutely crazy that the NFL doesn't disappoint. That the Steelers Patriots means so much here early in the season, and that is going to be really, really cool for Steeler fans, for Patriots fans, and it's really, really good for the Steelers in general. Oh, there's Sean. What's up, Sean? I didn't know you'd be awake this early. I thought it would be a little bit too early. Maybe you can join me for the post game show once the Steelers catch a big win. I'm like, I should text him, and then I'm like, it might be a little bit too early in Hawaii. So I was like, all right, I'll wait. What's up, Big Tom Ford? Ain't no party like a Diddy party, Ford. Good to see you guys both in the chat. Good to see everybody. Jonathan Yule, what's up? Let's go, Steelers Nation. A-Rod gonna cook with Gonzalez ducking DK. He is out. Gonzalez is out, but the Patriots have a lot of players, man. A lot of players that can do some damage, both offensively and defensively. Drake May actually looks like an NFL quarterback, but we will discuss what you can do with Drake May in order to maybe force him into some mistakes, maybe force him in to making some costly mistakes against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. The Steelers are banged up, man. You're not going to have Joey Porter Jr. You're not going to have Alex Highsmith. At least they were projected to be inactive before the show started. So if anybody did hear any different, if anybody's going to play that I'm not aware of, I don't have the computer right in front of me, so you can put that in there. But so far, I believe it's going to be Joey Porter Jr. inactive, Alex Highsmith, of course, with the high ankle, Deshaun Elliott yet again, Andreas P, Caleb Johnson, I think is going to be out. Why? Because Trey Sermon was elevated and placed into the active role. So that looks like Caleb Johnson's going to be out. So that's disappointing for us, considering I had very high hopes. I was very surprised the Steelers were able to get him inside of the draft. But when you make a mistake that costs your team 7 points, it's going to be very, very tough, man, to get back into the fold for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go back to the chat, and then we will break down everything. We are going to break down offense. We're going to break down defense, special teams. I'll give you my score predictions and what I believe will unfold here today. Kodak, what's good, Jay? What's good, Jay? Hope your weekend has been good. Stay safe and please beat the Pats, TD. Tired of Drake May hype. That's from Kodak. I thought you was or you might be a Jet. I can't remember, Kodak. Were you a Pats or Jets fan? What's up, Big J Hook? Good to see you, man. Challenger 22 in the chat watching your intro reminds me of why I'm a Steelers fan. Amen, man. Thanks to J Hook. He made that intro, so props to J Hook. Kodak, how we doing, chat? Good to see you. Aaron Rodgers won a game in New England. I don't know when the last time he won a new game in New England. I'm not sure. Mark Malone, crap. They were taking anal reamings with everyone healthy. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what, guys? I got to bring this up. Has never won in New England, Sean says. So, well, hopefully today that starts. You got to remember, guys, and I got to emphasize this, and I even just told my kid this. Football's all about matchups. You could have an 0-16 team. Now, maybe it's far fetched. You could have an 0 and a billion team and a team that's won every game. If they get in the wrong matchup, they're screwed. It's just football. Football is that. It's all about matchups. Teams match up well against certain teams, and they don't against other teams. And that is something that seems elementary, but yet is very, very true. The D is going to have to strap on a pair of testicles and man up. Absolutely, Mark. You're 1,000% right. Another Wombat in the chat. Let's freaking go. I don't have high hopes, but we will see. Yeah, Jets fan. Okay, I thought you were one of them. I couldn't remember exactly. Tom says, I think Pats don't have Gonzalez today. No, he is going to be out, as Jonathan Yule said earlier in the chat, ducking DK. Let's go. Aaron JD says, let's go Steelers. What's up, man? Challenger says, hold on. Still have a bad taste in my mouth over the game last week. Absolutely, guys. And I got to remind you, Challenger says, yes, bad taste. Everyone does. I do too. And definitely, rightfully so. Rightfully so. It was a bad performance. Thankfully, I didn't really watch the game live. Why? I was coaching football. So I wasn't able to really watch it live, but here we are, no game this week. So here we are. I get to watch it live, thankfully. But when you talk about the Steelers and you talk about that loss last week, injuries, yes, they mount up. But no excuses. And again, the NFL season is going to be full of highs, lows, bad times, good times. That's what it is, guys. We know that. We know that as fans. We've seen it happen time and time again, and it's going to continue to happen. You never get too high, you never get too low. Just because one game is a loss doesn't mean the rest of them are going to be. The NFL is crazy, man. It's the tightest league, in my opinion, in terms of competition out of all professional sports. It's very difficult to figure out a winner and loser each and every week. Yes, teams get on a roll, blah, blah, blah. But each and every week, they're tight games, and that's why the NFL is so rather exciting. Walter Lamley, Wyoming in the house. Good morning, Jason. It's Wyoming. Change my handle. Hey, man, good to see you, brother. Steelers Nation 4-1-2. Patriots are not from the dominant kingdom anymore with Brady. I don't care. We haven't beat them in their homes since 2008. Offense is consistent enough. Watt wakes up on defense and wins the game. I hope you're right, Steelers Nation. I hope you are right. And we're going to dive into that, guys. And again, it's about matchups. And I got to keep emphasizing that. Kodak says, I think Kenneth Gainwell is the name to watch out for today. He's due for a good game, man. I got to disagree. I think Gainwell will get some snaps, of course, no doubt, especially with being the Caleb Johnson, in my opinion, probably going to be inactive. At least I think so. And I'm sure he will be. Um, Especially with Trey Sermon. I look for Trey Sermon to get some snaps, but I do look for Jalen Warren to have a big game, guys. And if you are a Jalen Warren fan or a fantasy guy with Jalen Warren, you have him on your roster in fantasy, load up Jalen Warren. Today is Jalen Warren's day. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not run the football very well. Rushing yards per game, 62 and a half. That's 30th in the NFL, and that's not good enough. And that has a lot of variables at play, playing from behind, different things like that. The offensive line not doing its job. Aaron Rodgers, the run game, the line, the defense. There are so many variables that come into play to that 62 and a half yards per game average, but that ranks 30th in the NFL, and every good team in the NFL has to be able to run the football effectively. And if you're not able to run the football effectively, the play action pass that Aaron Rodgers does so well is ineffective. Players can sit back on it. They know when you're going to pass. So you're not faking them out. So rushing yards per game has to start to increase. And I believe today the Steelers really try to get on track. How do you fix the offensive line? When there's issues, how do you do that? How do you fix that offensive line? You go out there and you run the football. That's how you fix the offensive line. You give them a reason why. You give them that confidence, and that is running the football. And if you're not going to run the football effectively, you're in real trouble for the rest of the season. You have to be able to do that. And I think the Steelers, again, 62 and a half yards, ranking 30th in the NFL, understand that they got to do better there, or it's open season on Aaron Rodgers. And at 40 some years old, I don't know if he can withstand that type of pressure for a 17 game season. Tom Ford, if the Steelers were all in this year, they would have gotten another wide receiver, one or two. I still think they're all in. And I still think they have a lot of weapons, guys. The tight ends have to be a continued emphasis for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Arthur Smith. Also, again, just what I was just talking about. Jalen Warren has to be effective. He has to get more touches. You cannot limit him the way the Steelers have in games 1 and 2. Jalen Warren is your most explosive back out of the backfield, point blank, period. It's just what it is. And the Pittsburgh Steelers need to utilize that, take advantage of Jalen Warren. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Tom, a wide receiver wouldn't hurt. But guys, let's remember this: the trade deadline hasn't came upon us just yet. Steelers Nation 412. It's any given Sunday. Always been that way. Absolutely. Yeah, I just came from my son's 6U game. Been hell busy with that too. Practice Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. games, but got to be here. Absolutely, man. It's hard, man. It's tough. And I'm trying to juggle both too. Again, I told you guys, YouTube was really starting to wear on me a little bit, but I'm trying to get back into it the best I can. Tom Ford, the Steelers need a run defense. All teams know they could run on them. Absolutely. And you talk about that, Tom, and it's another very important thing that needs to be talked about. And you talk about points per game against. They rank 29th in the NFL, getting 31 and a half points scored against them per game. Not good enough. You talk about rushing yards. They are getting dashed. When teams are averaging 394 and a half yards against your defense, a defense that is the highest paid defense in the National Football League, there is a real massive issue. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have to figure that out. They're giving up almost 400 yards a game in weeks 1 and 2. You have to correct that. Guys like Cam Hayward, who bitched and moaned about their money, guys like TJ Watt, who got paid an exuberant amount of money. They have to really start to step up here and really start to guide this defense. Does Derek Harmon continue to stay out, or do we get to see his NFL debut? I think you need to see more of Y.A. Black. I think you need to see more of the mixing up of the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of being exotic in their formations and things of that nature, moving pieces around. You have to be different. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't willing to adapt and utilizing their chess pieces, they're just going to be a lost cause. And that is the problem of Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin does a lot of things good, yes. But the biggest deficiency in Mike Tomlin is that he does not adapt. He does not change. He goes and goes and goes with something. And I'm all about stability. I'm all about being consistent. But when you're Mike Tomlin, you have to learn to adapt. You have to learn to change. You have to move things around. You cannot continue to put the same product out there and expect a different result. That's insane. That's the definition of insanity. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have to figure that out, man. All right, I'm going to try to get in here and move around. My Floyd is Pink just became a member. Thank you, My Floyd is Pink. What's up, man? My Floyd is Pink. What's up, Jason? Do you think this is the great, or is this the get right game for the Steelers defense? Say yes, and I think there's some reasons why. And let's dive into that. And that's a good question by my Floyd is Pink 79. Always good to see you, man. Is this the game that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be able to get back on track? And I think the answer could be yes. Is it a definitive yes for me? No, because I think there's still some things that the Pittsburgh Steelers do that absolutely puzzle me. But when you look at this Patriots offense, let's go through and look at this Patriots offense a little bit on what they've done so far this season. Drake May, 517 yards passing through 2 games. That's 49 to 69 with a 71% completion rate, 3 TDs, 1 interception. He's been sacked 7 times, so you know you can get to the quarterback if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. But what do you got to do to Drake May? When I watch Drake May, you don't want him running laterally. You don't want him running side to side, getting out on the move, because I think he hurts you there. I think he is able to roll side to side and complete passes at a high percentage. I didn't break it down exactly when he's out for his right or left, as opposed to climbing the ladder. But when I watched the tape of Drake May and the Patriots, if you were able to force Drake May to climb the ladder inside of the pocket, I think that's where you can force mistakes, and I think you can get some sacks. I think Drake May becomes uneasy. Will he stand in there? Yes. He'll stand in there and he'll deliver the football under pressure, under duress. Absolutely. But I think if you force Drake May into climbing the ladder as he's trying to throw the football, I think that starts to confuse Drake May a little bit. And I think that gives the Steelers an advantage. I think that that's where the Steelers want to push him. They don't want to push him side to side. They don't want to allow him to get out to the edges on the run, because I think he's really going to hurt you. I think he can throw the football down the field to Diggs, what's his name, Kayshawn Butte or whatever, however you pronounce his name. I think Hunter Henry, the tight end, could have big game today against the Steelers if they don't really watch themselves and allow Drake May to climb the pocket instead of going laterally. I think the Steelers could really get hurt by Hunter Henry. You look at Hunter Henry, really not a force to be reckoned with though so far. Only 5 catches. Um, for what, 75 yards, no touchdowns. And when you look at Drake May and you look at the 71% completion rate and only 3 Ts, you would think that there would be more there. You look at the run game, it's not been massive for the Patriots either. So both teams have struggled. Stevenson for the Patriots, Travion Henderson, somebody I thought was going to do really, really well. You look at them both, and they are just at 110 yards rushing combined. And that is on what, like 30 carries. So that's 30 some carries, maybe like 31, 32, or 30, like in that range. I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I know it's just right in that range. So they ran the ball with their premier runners, their marquee runners, only about 30 times. And they've only had 110 yards through 2 games with those guys. And that's an issue. And you look at the Steelers, and they've only averaged 62 and a half rushing yards per game. So the Steelers and the Patriots are both in that same boat there. So which team is going to be able to get that run game going? I think that is going to set the early tone in this football game. But again, when you're talking about the Patriots and their offensive unit, make Drake May climb the pocket, force him to climb the ladder in the pocket. But May can do some things. Nice play action, in my opinion. But at times the ball placement is perfect. Then other times you're wondering where the hell he's throwing it to. But if you look at Drake May's overall body of work, I think it's been really, really good. And he's actually showed that he can be a competent NFL quarterback. But again, standing in the pocket under pressure is really, really good for Drake May. I think he takes unnecessary hits at times, though, guys. Watch when he gets out on the move. Now, he's rushed for a little bit of yards, too. But watch when he gets out on the move. He'll take some unnecessary hits. And I don't wish for injuries for anybody, but the Steelers got to take advantage of that. Drake May will try to run you over, will try to take and get some extra yards when he's not really where in the position that he should. And the Steelers need to take advantage with guys like Jalen Ramsey coming down and laying the hammer on Drake May and really rattling his cage, man. I don't want to see injuries, but I think you need to rattle Drake May's cage. And when he does go out there and take those unnecessary risks, instead of just sliding and getting out of the way and living to play another play, if you're the Steelers, you got to hammer his ass, and you got to hammer his ass big. And I think that that's going to be very important. But if you look at guys like Diggs, guys like Butte and Hunter Henry, you got to make sure that you really lock down those weapons and force him into those checkdowns, force him in to throwing the football to players that he normally doesn't throw it to, that he's not as comfortable throwing the football to. And I think you'll have some success. So we'll see. But if you're talking about the Steelers defensively, can they produce and can they have that get back game here? I think yes. I think that they can. You got to cause that havoc in the middle of the defense, man, and force Drake May into making some piss poor decisions. And he's young in his NFL career. He's playing better than I thought he would play. But if you're the Steelers, can this happen and can this be your get back game? Absolutely. Despite the injuries, I think definitely the Steelers controlling the run and keeping the Patriots to their piss poor rushing attack that's been through 2 games is going to be really beneficial. But the Steelers have given up so much massive yardage on the ground. And don't be surprised if Stevens and Travion Henderson go out there and have a big, big game. Let's get back to the chat. Challenger 22. The muff kickoff sucked sucked the wind out of this team last week. Mistakes like that can't happen. But what bothers me is how poor this defense has played. Absolutely, I agree. And special teams can play a big role. Challenger brings up something big. The Patriots kicker's a rookie. He's missed makeable kicks already this season. Not a ton, but he's missed it. I watched one against the Raiders just coming off the top of my head. So he can be rattled. He is a rookie. And I think you need to take advantage of that. Possibly blocking a kick, forcing Eric kicks to the right or left, making him miss. And I think Chris Boswell continuing to be Chris Boswell is going to be very important in this football game. And it comes down to those things, guys. Special teams mistakes, special teams splash plays. That wins games in this league, and I think it's highly overlooked. We look at the offense, we look at the defense, yes, but when you look at games week in, week out in the National Football League, a lot of games come down to a special teams play. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers possess the advantage in the special teams area. The Pittsburgh Steelers, though, can't have guys like Caleb Johnson making those mistakes that they did last week because that absolutely destroys a team's efforts, man. So, can the Steelers win that special teams battle today? Absolutely, they can. And I think it's definitely something that the Steelers have to continue to shine at and limit those mistakes like they had one last week. Tomlin refuses to make adjustments. Absolutely. A lot of Tomlin hate. Walter Lemley, Wyoming says because Tomlin is an idiot, that must go. Mark Malone, I still think Tomlin would have turned the steel curtain into the great wall of trannies. Mm. Can't run the ball or stop the run unless you win in the trenches. Absolutely, and the Steelers haven't done that, Sean, and that's the biggest thing, man. Defense has become soft. Absolutely. If I miss your chat, guys, you can throw it back in. I'll try to get to it the best I can. You guys are doing awesome, loading the chat up. I love it. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing if you're not already. We will get back to a more consistent basis. You guys know I work really hard at this. I've just been kind of yeah, in a lull. So we will get back to it. Maybe get some guests on. Sean maybe can join me after the show or after the game, and we'll talk about the Steelers, Patriots, and what transpired during the game here this afternoon. Walter Lemley, someone tell me when Mike's D has been elite since Dick LeBeau left. I'll wait. Um, you're right. I don't notice a lot of times when the D has been elite. Have they been good? Absolutely. I think they definitely been good, and we can't overlook this, guys. And I'm not going to totally bash Mike Tomlin because if you look over the last several seasons, the Pittsburgh Steelers needed defense to win games because their offense has sucked. You look at Aaron Rodgers right now, points per game, 31 and a half. That's 29th in the NFL. That's not good enough or that's points per game again. Sorry. Points per game for the Steelers, 25.5. That's tied for eighth in the National Football League. And that's been a big improvement for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's got to be recognized because the Steelers have leaned on defense and they've not won games unless the defense has scored and been special. So we got to give Mike Tomlin some credit there with the defense because they've bailed the Steelers out. The reason that they were able to make the playoffs and be competitive is because of the defense. Were they elite? Probably not. Why? Because they need to have that other part of the team. You need to have the offense be able to put up points. And this year, the Steelers do have an offense that can put up points. Let's face it, Aaron Rodgers is better than what the Steelers have had since the departure of Big Ben Roethlisberger, since the last 2 years. Before Big Ben Roethlisberger left, the Steelers were abysmal on offense, and the Steelers now, I think, possess some things that definitely can get them going. 206 and a half yards passing for the Steelers per game. That's tied for 17th in the National Football League. Total offensive yards per game, 269 yards per game. That's not good enough. That average is brought down, and the Steelers ranked 27th in the NFL there. And that's because they can't run the football effectively. And that's a Pat Meyer thing. That's an offensive line thing. That's an Arthur Smith thing in terms of schematic offense. That's maybe lacking some weaponry that you may need, but utilize those tight ends. Bring in guys like John U. Smith, Pat Fryermuth, Darnell Washington, and really allow those guys to eat and start to dictate the pace of play. If, again, you look at this Patriots team, the Steelers can be effective over the middle of the field. They can be chain movers with those tight ends today. And I want you really to focus on that today and watch. Do the Steelers take advantage of that? Because they can win there. You look at the Steelers. And you look at the Patriots, I think the Steelers definitely can take advantage of the middle of the field, and I think they can get the run game going against the New England Patriots. You look at The tacklers on the defense for the Patriots, Christian Ellis, linebacker, he's 6'2", 231 pounds. He has 10 solo tackles. So you got to make sure you're getting a hat on him. Craig Woodson, 9 solo tackles. Jalen Hawkins has played really, really well, but I noticed something about Jalen Hawkins. When he's covering a guy in the slot that has some speed, he can be beat, especially with deep crossers. And I think the Steelers can take advantage of that today. And I want you to really, really watch that. I wanted you to watch Calvin Austin III because deep crossers to Calvin Austin III out of the slot position can be really, really beneficial to the Pittsburgh Steelers, even if you have a guy like Jalen Hawkins being up and being the guy covering Calvin Austin in the slot. Because I think Calvin Austin III's speed can be really, really beneficial for the Steelers and has been proven to beat Jalen Hawkins this season so far. You look at the Raiders; they smoked him on a deep post crossing route, and definitely took advantage of that with Geno Smith. Now, the Raiders' offensive line protected Geno pretty well in that game, but they were only able to muster up 20 points. So. You take that however you wish. But you look at Jalen Hawkins, 10 solo tackles, 1 interception, 1 pass defended over 2 games. He's played really, really well. But you can't overlook the fact that he can be beat if you have some speed matched up on him out of the slot position, especially, I think, is big. You look at Harold Landry III, 6 solo, 3.5 sacks for the New England Patriots. You got to make sure you match up well with him. Milton Williams, 4 solo tackles, 2 sacks over 2 games for the Patriots. That's pretty good numbers so far from their 2 big sack guys. They combined for 5.5 sacks there. Also, you look at a former Pittsburgh Steeler and Robert Spillane, 6 solo tackles, 1 sack for the New England Patriots. A guy that's been the consummate pro. I always liked Spillane. He always made a play when it needed to be made. So yeah, good luck to Robert Spillane, but not today against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So those are their leaders defensively, and you guys need to really make sure you pay attention to some of those guys. And there are the Steelers getting a hat on a hat and blocking some of those guys and keeping them out of the play. Black and gold. I wish we would send Washington on Broderick Jones' side just so we can have at least 1.5 offensive tackles on that side. They do, they put him there, and I get what you're saying. Definitely, Broderick Jones got to play better, and I think Broderick got to get out of his own head. Is he strong enough? Yes. Is he athletic enough? Yes. Has he done it before in the NFL? Yes. The techniques lacked, absolutely. But brute strength and aggressiveness has been his forte, and he needs to be able to utilize that today against the Patriots and get this Steelers run game going and protect Aaron Rodgers. When a kicker becomes a weapon, welcome to Pittsburgh. Absolutely. I wonder if Harmon will be on a snap count. I would assume. You got to remember, guys, he's just coming back. He's a rookie. We'll see. Black and Gold says 31-28. Pittsburgh wins 31-28 is what he thinks. Tomlin chopped off our D's. Yeah. Armin in the house. What is your score prediction for the Patriots, Steelers, 49ers, Cardinals? Well, let's start there. I'll give you mine. Steelers, Patriots. I will say this. I think it's going to be 24-21 Pittsburgh in a hard fought battle that comes down to the Chris Boswell foot. I think that's what it will be today. I think it'll be 24-21 Pittsburgh. I think the defense has a little bit of a get back game. I think they have moments where they break, but I think Aaron Rodgers is still able to do what he's done so far, and that's put about 25 points on the board per game average. So I think the Steelers can do that. I think they scored 24 points today, right against that average. And for the Steelers to be successful for this season, they have to be able to average that 25 points per game because the defense has had some struggles. They have to be able to score some points. And I think they do that today in the tune of 24 points. 49ers, Cardinals. I'm going to go with the 49ers there. I know that may not be the pick, but that's where I'm going to go. I don't know the score. Maybe I think it'll be a higher scoring game. We'll see. That's just my hunch, but I may be wrong there. So I can't give you a definitive score. I haven't looked at that matchup enough. Uh, Colts. Who do they play? I don't know who they play. You have to tell me who they play. Tom Ford says, I didn't see Caleb Johnson touch the ball last week. It looked like it bounced right past him. It's a live ball, though, Tom, because it hit the field of play. The rules are a little bit different. You guys got to remember that. So, these kickoff rules are still relatively the same with touching the football, landing in the field of play, et cetera, et cetera. Uh, but there are some variables there that are a little bit different. Daniel James, what's up, Jay, my friend? I think Art Rooney is the Joe Biden of the NFL, and Mike Tomlin is the Brandon Johnson of the NFL. Good comment. Black and gold just goes to show you how deadly the pump fake of Ben was. Absolutely. A lot of people really discount that and not really look at that. Ben Roethlisberger's fake was absolutely lethal. And if you're able to do that, you're able to have that hand size to really be able to hold on to that football and really fire it like you're going to throw it, but yet it be a pump fake. It can really work in your advantage. And everything in the NFL is so split second that it can be so lethal because players are going to bite on that. And if you're able to pump and dump, that's big, man. Nope. Yeah, that sounded a little weird. Let me get a drink. Thank you guys for loading up the chat here, man. Roberta, what's up? Good morning. Appreciate you guys joining us here on our live Pittsburgh Steelers pregame show here on Mike Drop Sports. Make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribing to the show. We truly, truly appreciate that. Don't forget, we're on X, we're on TikTok. So if you're not following us over there, go do so. We're also on Facebook. We've been trying to build that platform for a while. I feel like nobody ever goes and finds us on Facebook. Facebook has been the hardest one to build. X, I really don't care about. I haven't really tried that much to build it. But TikTok, we're almost up to 300 followers there. We're about to hit 5,000 here. I've taken a little bit of a slow roll here as of late, but we'll get there and hit that 5,000 mark before the midway point of the season and be rocking and rolling with 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube. We're about to hit 4,700 to be exact. Pat Suck from Mr. Guffetti. Tom says, Tom Ford, what do you say here? Unfortunately, Travion Henderson will have a good game today. I mean, it's possible, absolutely, Tom. With the way the Pittsburgh Steelers have played their run defense, it's definitely possible that they have a get right game for the New England Patriots running the football. But this is a prime opportunity for the Steelers in order to get right and really start to stop the run because they only have, out of their two main contributors in the backfield, again, 110 yards rushing for the New England Patriots out of Travion Henderson and Stevenson. And that's not good enough. That's bad. And the Steelers need to take advantage of that today. That's big for them. And if they don't, shame on them because this is a golden opportunity for the Steelers to get right on that run stopping. You have to be able to move that defense around a little bit. You can't come out and play the same old, same old. You have to move things around. I know it's the NFL. They 99% of the time they're not even in their base formation in anything. So yeah, they do, but they need to do some things that are a little bit different that they haven't done, is what I'm saying. Things that don't make them so predictable. That has to be something the Steelers really emphasize on today and really move things around and really try to be different. Unfortunately, Jason, I don't have any of the others. It's okay, Roberta. It's all right. Everybody don't like all those abs. Sean says it's 5:45 a.m. over here. Time for some coffee. Hey, man, Sean. Mm. That's why I didn't want to text you because I was starting at 11:15. I'm like, dude, it is so early over there. I cannot text him so early because, like, I know phones are loud, and I would be really um, no, I would be really bummed if I'm waking up family because I was texting. So yeah, we got a massive time difference, 6 p.m. Also, Sean, I want to talk to you too about Kilauea. Isn't that bitch erupting? They said 500 foot in the air, lava plumes, man. That was kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy. I saw that. All right, guys, make sure you're commenting here. Kickoff at 7 a.m. That sucks. That will be next weekend for us people here on the East Coast, as the Pittsburgh Steelers are going over to Ireland to take on the Minnesota Vikings. And the Steelers, again, when you're traveling across the pond, that's going to present its own challenges. And the Steelers got to get right today. 1-1, it's okay. You come out of this game 2-1, heading into that Vikings game. You got some life. You got the momentum back on your way. But if you come out of this game 1-2, ooh, guys, I don't like it, and it really starts to concern me if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know it's early. You're going to have losing streaks. You're going to have winning streaks. It's the National Football League. Again, competition is super, super tight in the National Football League, but you cannot come out of this game 1-2. This game means a lot, and that's why I put in the show today. The caption of the show, the titles, and the description. This is a massive week 3 matchup. Massive. Early in the season. That is really, really cool. You don't get that in every sports league, every professional sports league, where so early in the season, you have such meaningful matchups. And it's for both teams here. Yes, the Steelers really, really got to win this game. Why? Because you can't go 1-2. It's a problem. It creates real, real, real problems for the Steelers. And that is going to be a real issue. You come out of here 1-2, but such meaningful matchups so early in a season is absolutely awesome. And it's really important for the Pittsburgh Steelers to take advantage of winning such a huge game, because it puts the Patriots at a massive disadvantage. It sends them home. Sends them back out of the stadium at home, 1-2, asking themselves a lot of questions. And if you're the Steelers, you get a win here. You go home 2-1, really up on a high note, and giving yourself a real confidence to go play a really good Minnesota Vikings team. Yeah, well, I haven't been consistent, so Miss P might not even know we're on. So yeah, I don't know. She'll join in, I'm sure. Uh, yeah, bro, the eruption was badass. Yeah, I've seen 500-foot lava plumes. That's crazy. Tom Ford, the Steelers need to win in Ireland. Yeah, they got to win, man. They got to win these next 2 games, in my opinion, to have a real chance at doing anything inside of a playoff atmosphere. Black and gold, Tomlin and Smith will go down with the 60-40 toss play in a vanilla offense. Will they ever get an OC that opens up the field? I don't think this is an Arthur Smith issue, guys. And I know what Black and Gold's getting at, because the offensive production hasn't been there no matter who the offensive coordinator has been. But I know some people will say, oh, bullshit, it's the coordinators. No, Mike Tomlin's the only constant in that equation. It can't be overlooked. Mike Tomlin has been the issue. Mike Tomlin's vanilla way of playing football doesn't work in 2025. It doesn't. Mike Tomlin hasn't changed. That's the issue. Mike Tomlin doesn't know how to play modern day football. He just doesn't. And that is the issue. He wants to win the games by defense and being consistent in low scoring, tight ball games. That's not the name of the game in today's NFL. Scoring points is the name of the game. The Steelers have to get up with the times, man. They have to get up with the times. We did that one. Black and Gold says agreed. Tomlin is the only constant. Absolutely. He definitely is the only constant in the whole equation. And I've been preaching for 2 off seasons. And I know it's went by the wayside, and we listen to people that got all these elaborate fucking things to say about the Steelers and how they could change things. Guys, football's fucking simple. Let's be real honest. And excuse my foul language, but yet I don't care. Uh, Football's simple. Football is simple. You come fired up to play, and you execute, and you really just come out there and you have a fire in your belly and a desire to win. It's real simple. It's an ultimate team game. It's not blamed on one thing or the other. It's blamed on a team performance. And the Steelers, they got the special teams thing down 90% of the time. But the offense and defense, they never show up at the same time. And that is the issue. And Mike Tomlin's really got to figure out, hey, This is today's NFL. We can't be so laid back all the time and conservative. Like that last week, the play where he punted, with it being very fourth and short, near midfield or at midfield, can't happen. Go for the damn thing. Be exciting. Do some things that are different. Don't be so plain and vanilla. And Mike Tomlin has to realize that. That will get this team fired up and get them moving in a direction that's not so stale and stagnant. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have to start to do things that are a little bit different. Walter Ledley, yes, Jason. Yes, Jason. Mediocre Mike must go. Sean says, I predict that the offense goes off today. DK will have a big play today along with Fryermuth. I like that Fryermuth and DK go out there and get some things done. I think that that could be something definitely, Sean, that happens. Black and gold, that toss play to Bell, that was the key play that lost the game in Jacksonville in a playoff game against Jacksonville in a playoff game. Yeah, the toss play. It works when you can't run it all the time. You can't run anything all the time. You have to be more consistent in terms of being different. Going to the Super Bowl, I wish, man. And that was Tomlin on the sideline. Was it Haley's fault? Uh, I think Tomlin's the only variable. I think Todd Haley did a fine job. I think the Steelers definitely put up some points. Watt is going to get a sack today. I think he gets a couple because I think he can force Drake May to climb the ladder. And TJ Watt is a really, really good player at doing what, guys? And I think it's something that is overlooked a little bit with TJ Watt. He is excellent at the spin move. That is bull rushing to the outside and spinning back inside, being able to make a play. And I think TJ Watt, with the way Drake May moves inside of the pocket and the way the Steelers could collapse that around him and force him to climb the ladder, what I was talking about earlier, could really play into TJ Watt's advantage. And he is really good at that change of direction. And I think that that's something that TJ Watt really needs to focus on when he's watching tape of the New England Patriots and he was really looking at them this week. I hope he was really emphasizing that spin move, that spin back inside. I think can be very important for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Same play calls after four OCs. It's Tomlin, yet we live in our fears. Yeah, absolutely. You're 1000% right. Glad to see you up and healthy. What's in the spread today? Got some chill going on today, or chili going on today. Probably just our basics, quesos and popcorns and things like that, man. Just the basics. We went and got some Starbucks earlier, so everybody had a little snack from there. After this, I'm going to go down and have me some queso and chips. You know. So, yeah, we don't got much more time before kickoff. All right, guys, make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribing to the show here at Mike Drop Sports, our live stream. We make sure that we always try to bring it for you when we are live. So make sure you bring it for us by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and sharing the show to all your friends. Absolutely. Get some coffee in you, Sean. Get some coffee in you. Mrs. got me doing laundry right now. Yeah, I needed to throw some in too. I make sure that laundry is always done. I hate laundry backing up. So I do a load every day, no matter what, because I don't want to have to do 3 or 4 loads of laundry. Absolutely not. It sucks. All right, guys, let me get a drink. All right, guys, make sure you're throwing in your score predictions. Make sure you're also throwing in any questions that you might have for your Pittsburgh Steelers today. Again, defensively, force Drake May into the interior of that Steelers defense. Cam Hayward has to be better today. Cam Hayward has to play the run way better today. Keanu Benton has to play better today. Let's see if Derek Harmon gets in there and is able to play. Again, I don't know if he's going to be inactive or not. I don't know what the deal is. But as of when I did the show, when I came onto the show, my projected inactives were Joey Porter Jr., safety Deshaun Elliott, outside linebacker Alex Highsmith, guard tackle Andres Pete, running back Caleb Johnson. And I say running back Caleb Johnson because Trey Sermon was elevated, which makes me really, really feel like Caleb Johnson don't got a shot today. If anybody could look up the inactives today for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the list should have came out now. I think it has to be done an hour before kickoff, so that should have came out So if somebody wants to put that list inside of the chat, I would appreciate it. Again, I don't got no computer in front of me right now. The setup is lacking a little bit here today. Walter Lemley, where was Roman Wilson last week? I think Roman Wilson just got to figure out what the fuck is going on, man. Yeah, Roman Wilson's disappointed me. Caleb Johnson's disappointed me. Both early in their career, and there's still time to fix it. But man, the disappointment is real. The disappointment is real. JPJ out. That's an upgraded DB. I don't think so. I think JPJ is really, really good. Um, but I like some of the players on the Steelers. I like Eccles. I like some of the players. Slay got to play better today. Both sides of the trenches need to start finding themselves today. It's not too late. Absolutely, Aaron Jade's absolutely right. 1000%. And guys, I want you to realize this too. Some of the secondary play, some of the special or the skill position play offensively, and the secondary play defensively is really, really dependent on what? The trenches. If those guys aren't playing well, those guys on the back end are going to play bad. Why do you think they call this the ultimate team game? It's because you can't have one without the other. The skill position players aren't going to play really, really well unless the offensive line is doing their job. The defensive front has to do their job or the secondary is going to get picked apart. That is where it all starts, guys. I tell you that all the time. It doesn't matter if you have a wide receiver 2 or a wide receiver 10. It don't fucking matter. It don't matter who you have at quarterback. It doesn't matter who's running the football. It doesn't matter who the secondary is for the Pittsburgh Steelers. None of that matters unless the guys in the trenches do their job. It's simple, simple, simple. Can you beat bad teams with bad trench play? Yeah, you can. You can get lucky. You can win those 34-31 games, i.e., the Jets and things like that. Yeah, you can do that. But you're not going to beat good teams if you don't play well in the trenches. Wilson was a healthy scratch. Karma hit the Steelers last week. RIP Charlie Kirk. Absolutely RIP to Charlie. That was sad, definitely. Keanu Benton and YJ Black should switch positions. Black is more has more strength. That's from Tom Ford. Jay Hook. Number 24, cornerback Joey Porter Jr. Number 25, Deshaun Elliott. Alex Highsmith, Andreas Pete, and Otimiwa or whatever, however you say his name. I never can pronounce it right. They are out. Thank you, Jay Hook. Those are the inactives for today. So you will see Derek Harmon on a limited basis, I'm sure, and that'll be exciting. We'll get it together. Don't everyone worry. Absolutely. I don't want everybody to panic. This is the NFL. I try to tell you this all the time. Highs and lows. Don't be too high. Don't be too low. Thank you, Sean. Slay is inactive. I don't know. I didn't even know he was hurt. I think Slay's not in it. You sure? Double check that one. I don't think he's inactive. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out of here and enjoy a Steelers Sunday here at 1 p.m. in Foxborough, Boston, Massachusetts, as the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to take on the New England Patriots, and what will be a really, really important game, man, a really massive game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Any other comments, make sure you're putting them in there. We truly appreciate that. And again, we will be back after the show with a live Pittsburgh Steelers post-game show here on Mike Drop Sports. And we will do our best to give it a little bit of time for the game to end. Let some player interviews happen. That way we can come in and comment. I know you always want to tune into those big name channels that give you the same rigmarole every week. Tune in here. We'll give you the truthful examination of the game, the Steelers Patriots. We're not going to sugarcoat shit. We're not tied to the Steelers to where we got to watch what we say. We'll say the truth. We'll get that shit right. You sure Slay is inactive? I don't know, man. That'll be I don't know about that. You might be right. I don't know. I don't got a computer in front of me, which I need to fix that issue. I know this has nothing to do with the Steelers, but have you heard October 14th is National Mourn Charlie Kirk Day? No, I did not hear that, but I think every day should be a day that you mourn somebody that was such a great activist for our country, whether you agree with his politics or not. Charlie Kirk was a man of faith, a man of family, and I think that should be celebrated. And anybody that celebrates his demise is an absolute idiot, and I want to be no part of them. Um, and that goes for here. You can unsubscribe if you're subscribed to my channel and you want to celebrate a man's murder. Yeah, please don't follow us here because that's not the type of people I'm looking to be around or want watching my stuff. I think Charlie Kirk was a great man, regardless of whether or not you believed in what he had to say, whether or not you agreed with his politics or not. A guy that was building a family, a beautiful young family that has now little children that wonder where their dad is. And that is absolutely sad and horrible, horrendous. And over a disagreement on political stances, nobody should ever take that path and end somebody. That's not what we should be doing. And that's sad. And I think this. I really think this country has went down a bad path with believing that you just take somebody out if you don't agree with what they say. It's sad. It shows your lack of intelligence if that's the way you believe and things should go. You should be able to fight things with your words and allow people to live their life whether you agree with them or not. And I think it was heinous. I think it was horrible. And I really, really hope that people start to find themselves and stop acting the way that they have been lately. Yeah, I'm getting different news about Slay. He will probably play. I don't know, Sean. Yeah, I hope he's not out. I hope not. But again, guys, regardless of your politics, regardless of whatever, we're here for football. And the thing is this: love your neighbor, love your family, and be good to everybody. And whether you disagree with them or not, it is what it is, man. You move on and you live to see another day. Definitely. Man, what a crazy world. What a crazy, crazy world we live in. Jay Hook, I'm looking forward to Harmon debut. 6'4", 313 pounds, first round pick, even if it's for a few plays. Yeah, I think he'll be on a snap count, Jay Hook. Absolutely. He hasn't played, he's a rookie. Um, but he is the guy that I think is going to be a key to fixing some of this the defensive issues. I think he does some things that we saw a young Cam Hayward do, a young Stephon Tuitt do, be able to control the run, be able to get up there and bat some passes down, be able to be versatile along that defensive front. And I think that that's something the Steelers have lacked. And I think that that definitely helps them out schematically when you have a chess piece move like you do. In terms of a guy like a Derek Harmon, and I know he hasn't played a snap inside of the National Football League as of yet in regular season action, and I get that. But I think that this kid got a very promising career. And I think he's going to do some major, major damage. And I think he is the next great Pittsburgh Steelers defensive front man. And I think if you have really, really solid play out of those down guys, along that Steelers defensive front, you're going to see guys like TJ Watt start to eat. You're going to start to see the interceptions. You're going to start to see the back end of that Steelers defense come alive, especially once you start to get guys like Porter Jr., Deshaun Elliott back in the mix. I think the Steelers, when you look at what has happened so far, the injuries and things of that nature, yes, it's disappointing, but I'd rather it happen now. I'd rather start to see them get guys back slowly but surely here, like a Derek Harmon, and watch this Steelers defense grow into something really, really special and really start to hit their stride toward the back end of the season, moving toward the playoffs. I think that that will be something really, really cool to witness. And I think if you're a Steelers fan, I think that that's something you really need to pay attention to. Don't get too low with what has happened so far. This 1-1 start really isn't the end of the world. It's a 1-1 start. They're not in bad shape. You win today, you're 2-1, and all the Steeler fans are talking about a Super Bowl. That's how Steelers fans are. It is what it is. I'm one of them. But we got to really, really remain focused on there is really significant potential here for the Steelers to really just slowly start to hit their stride and really be something special by the time the playoffs come around. And remember, you heard it here first. I predict the Steelers to make the playoffs. I don't think that this is going to be a bust year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think if they do get a seat at the playoff table, I think that there is a real possibility that the Pittsburgh Steelers, again, are just starting to hit their stride, just starting to be a real healthy, solid, well rounded football team moving into the playoffs. And I think that that could be something really, really cool for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward. All right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. And I really think that the Steelers today win 24-21. In Foxborough. I think it's a very tight game that comes down to a Chris Boswell field goal. I think it's a 21-21 game late. That's just my thoughts, and I think the Steelers get right here and get a big win. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely take a look at a new direction here today. I think this Steelers team could win a playoff game. That's from Quick Scoob 123. Let's go to the next one. Scott Chafin. Dang, Wi-Fi out in the area until 5:30. Woke up, thought I forgot to pay the bill. Hey, and get a message. I hate when they do that, man. They won't discount us though. When their service sucks, they won't throw a discount in there. That's terrible, Scott. Maybe go find a bar somewhere and sit down and have an appetizer and have a snack and have a plate, a steak or something good. Treat yourself and watch the Steelers win a ball game today. Definitely think that's probably your best bet. I want this W, but we will lose. I'm not really. I'm not going to say they're going to lose. I think they have an excellent chance, David. I hope you're wrong. J Hook, if we go Green, Hampton, Hayward, then Harmon as a legacy, that's special. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we forget about another player, Stephon Tuitt, who ended his career so early. And I get it. It's his business. But wow, was he something special. And if he'd have finished out his career, I think he'd still be playing. And I think he would still be something really special. And I think that derailed the Steelers defense in a big way. All right, guys, we're going to get up out of here. Let's make sure that we get the rest of the comment. Uh, yeah, there's somebody spamming. All right. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Again, thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate it as always. We appreciate you guys coming in and checking us out each and every day when we are live. It's definitely something super special. And until next time, man. I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Join us live after the Pittsburgh Steelers, New England Patriots, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time game today. And hopefully we have a 2-1 football team as the Steelers try to get right here in Foxborough. So we will see you guys later.
Power takes an approach as a coach. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
Guy then throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.